I'm going to start with the easier options first, getting a little bit more complex as we go. There's plenty of low-hanging fruit in your audience. It just needs tickling off the tree. One thing before we go through these tactics, where appropriate, I would suggest, in fact, no, please honour this simple bid layering rule. When deploying one or more remarketing audiences, be sure to layer bids based on the priority of the audience, i.e. the most engaged or those with the highest intent get the highest bid modifier. Let me show you an example. In fact, I do believe this is the first time we're actually going to look at the AdWords dashboard all the way through this course. Blimey. Just goes to show you we can do so much outside of AdWords and in analytics. Anyway, here it is. So this is a new client of ours actually. So this is, you'll see very low volumes for impressions and clicks, but you can see how we've layered the engagement audiences by bid. So the most engaged, i.e. they spent the most time on the website, gets the highest bid, and then it trickles down based on time on site. I'll show you how to create these audiences shortly. Even in this very early stage of literally a week, I think it's about a week's worth of data, you can see that there's already been a direct conversion from display, and not only that, it's for a few pounds, which is something like 10 times lower than their target cost per acquisition for this particular shop. So that's brilliant. Okay, let's get to it. Retargeting tactics in order of priority. Number 1, get rid of homepage ditches. Really simple, this one. We don't want to show remarketing ads to people who visited your homepage and left your website. You never hear people talking about this, and I don't really know why, because it's one simple way of cutting waste and ditching people who aren't interested. That in turn will help raise your display ad click-through rate. It'll improve your quality score as a result, which tends to drive down your cost per click, and also it avoids annoying these people. So we jump back over to analytics and we create a custom segment with 2 specific conditions. Firstly, we're looking for page that exactly matches the home page. So that's a /. And then page views per user equals or is less than 1. Let's call this the homepage ditches and save it. Now we can push this audience to AdWords by simply clicking the actions and build audience. Here we can confirm the AdWords account that we linked at the very start of this training course. Next we define the audience. Because this is an exclusion, i.e. we don't want to target these people, I'd go the full way back to 540 days, which is the longest duration, and use the longest look back of 30 days. Give it a name, save it, and seconds later your audience that we've just created will be available in your AdWords account. Now apply that as an exclusion to your remarketing campaigns. If you're unsure of how to do that, let me just quickly show you. It's pretty straightforward. So let's jump back over to AdWords. We click a display campaign. Then, oh, by the way, we can use a search campaign, anything that's got an audience, but let's use display for now. We click the display network and then under targeting, and within here we have our campaign exclusions. Simply select your audience from the remarketing list and fire it across to the selections panel on the right, save, and you're done. Next, bring back distracted buyers for the easy win. Life happens, people get distracted, and they don't complete the purchase. The simple premise here is to bid more on shopping basket and conversion abandoners. It really is the simplest audience to create and roll out today. Oh, and I'm British, if you hadn't noticed. If you're American, you might call it a carton. I call it basket. You say tomato, I say tomato. Anyway, better still, if you have the advanced e-commerce features enabled, you can use the shopping behavior analysis report to create audiences in 2 clicks. So here we are. in the behavior analysis, and we've got 6,303 checkout abandoners. So if we click the bottom area, you'll be presented with the option to name this segment. And for now, we'll keep it in the current profile view. Then we create a segment and you're done. Easy peasy. If you don't have advanced e-commerce features enabled, then I'm afraid you have to add this segment manually, which is not too tricky. Just the people who viewed the checkout but have no transactions. Remember to send this audience over to AdWords as well. And you can use this audience as an RLSA or a display advertising campaign audience. I'm assuming you know what RLSA is, but just in case, it's remarketing on Google search. So showing your adverts for people who already know you, they're aware of you, i.e. they're on your remarketing list because they visited your website. The premise is if someone is still searching and looking for what you sell and they know you, by showing your ads to them again, you increase the likelihood that they'll convert, which is true. We see it all the time. Back to the tactic in hand. In its very basic form, you can roll out branded display ads and use a bid modifier against your search and shopping campaigns using RLSA to prioritize this audience. They got close to a purchase before, which means they are way more likely to convert down the line if given the chance. Hopefully, you also have a persistent shopping experience. In other words, cookies have kept their items in their basket for their return visit. If you don't know, ask your developer or your website admin, as most of the major platforms support this kind of behavior. So that said and done, there's a simple start to remarketing, and it should reap some rewards for you too.